Hey guys, Ryan Arter back from Mission Survivor, and today is Friday, October 18th, and we've got a parade tomorrow. So I'm going to pull out our parade vehicle, and it's a 1968 Kaiser M35a2. That's a Deuce and a half, and I figured what a better time to just take a quick video and show you our Deuce and a half. This is actually when I went to make the purchase on this a few years ago. I looked for some really good videos and for some real world testimonial about these things before I bought it, and I had a little bit of experience with them in the past, but I want to do an updated video here. I want to show you our restored Deuce and a half, and I'm going to pull it out of the garage right now. So I'll get in it, I'm going to start it up, and then we'll talk about it. Ours lives its life inside of our warehouse, and it's taken care of pretty well, and it gets out every once in a while. You might see it running around Kansas City from time to time, definitely in the snow. That's a lot of fun. Let's get her fired up. Okay, now that I've got the motor shut down, I can talk a little bit about this. If you know anything about these, the military, and it even states it on my dashboard, that you should wear hearing protection when you're driving. It's extremely loud. So you don't, it's not a good cab to hold a conversation in, but it really sounds really cool with that whistling turbo motor as well. Again, this is a 1968 military Deuce and a half, and it's completely decommissioned and is 100% street legal and registered here in the state of Kansas. The body initially, a couple of years ago, was taken off the frame, and the frame was sandblasted and painted black. And the body used to be olive drab green, but then we went ahead and decided to update it with this desert sand color. And this particular Deuce and a half is completely stock, except for one big standout feature, and it's these 46-inch tires. These are 46-inch Michelins. These normally will come on a 5-ton vehicle along with these wheels, and a typical Deuce and a half has dually tires on the back here. Well, this was singled, so we had a little bit of hub work done, and we were able to fit on these 46-inch tires. It's a pretty easy upgrade when you are working on these, and actually it looks pretty cool. I left a stock Deuce and a half wheel and tire here assembly. This is where the spare normally goes, just for scale. It's little. These tires are terrible to ride on. It makes the ride of the truck really, really rough. And with these bigger tires, it actually gives a little more cushion. We do run about 85 to 90 PSI in these big guys, but the ride is definitely much better with the bigger tires. I also took off the full-time hubs, and I put a set of lockout hubs, so that way I can disconnect the front end, and it makes steering a little easier, and it definitely improved my gas mileage and the efficiency of the truck at highway speeds. It was a very good upgrade. I would recommend this to anybody if you're thinking about doing lockouts on your Deuce and a half. Just like any other Deuce and a half, and you notice when I fired it up, it starts right up. It's in great shape. It's a diesel motor, of course, and it runs on diesel fuel, but it's also a multi-fuel engine. So you could run it on kerosene, jet fuel, and even used motor oil or veggie oil if you have it heated. I wouldn't recommend running it solely on that, but it is good to run some motor oil in it in the gas tank every once in a while, just to keep the internals of the engine lubricated. I use some diesel additive when I run it too. I mean, it is a 1968. It's got about 49,000 miles on it, but I want to keep it running and keep its legacy going. All right, and from the back of the truck, you can open up the tailgate. There's a couple of hooks. Be careful, this guy's pretty heavy as it comes down. I had a bed liner sprayed inside of the back here, and I also redid the troop seats, and it's kind of a neat feature. There's a safety guard here. This is actually a troop safety belt. It's interesting. I was able to get this off of eBay. It's an old item, but it's designed to keep you from falling out of the back of the Deuce when it's riding. Let me climb up on in here. And these troop seats are designed to be the side of the bed, but they also fold down, so of course you can sit on them. When you don't want to use them as seats, you lift them up like this, and there's a lock, and you can lock them up into position, and you just put the legs against the side of the now the bedside. These to have some zombie outbreak response team magnets on here. I'll put these on here from time to time, depending on the mood, depending on the type of parade or who I want to see the truck. I can easily pull these off and leave it just with the Army Star, which I love. But sometimes if you want a little bit more of attention when you're driving around, you're gonna get a lot of attention anyway. You can put something like this on here and it's a guaranteed you're gonna get people stopping, talking, taking pictures, and wanting to see what this is all about. I also get a lot of questions about what's it like to drive it. Well, it's hard to explain. It's a big truck, but let's go for a ride, and I'm gonna kill the audio. Actually, you'll probably hear the truck running. I'm not gonna do any talking, but we're gonna take it on a smaller camera, and I'll get my cameraman in the truck, and we'll take it around the block. Okay, so I climbed into the passenger seat just to get a better, give you a better shot of the dashboard here. Again, we have the engine stop lever. We have the electronics on and off. This green switch assembly controls the blackout markers. This truck actually has blackout lights, so it can be seen by infrared only, and it's got its regular lights and parking lights. This is the turn signal switch assembly. And then of course it's just clamped to the steering column. A lot of the parts in here are easily replaceable. I've installed a diesel fired heater, which is extremely warm, and it's a great recommendation if you're planning on heating the back of the truck as well. You can pump or pipe heat to the back end, and it'll run off of diesel fuel. Moving over to the rest of the dash, it's got an oil pressure gauge, it's got your speedometer, and in fact I just turned over 50,113 miles. So I got it probably maybe put on 3,000 or 4,000 miles in the last few years. I'm hoping to go a lot more there. It's got a tachometer. It's got an a water temperature gauge. It's got an air pressure gauge. All of these trucks have built-in air. The brakes are air assist. They're not fully air-driven brakes, so you don't need a commercial license to drive one of these, but they are air assisted. And you also have some glad hands on the back if you ever want to air up your tires or use air tools as well. It's got a battery gauge. It's got a fuel gauge, and mine's a little quirky, and it's got some indicator lights. This one in particular is to tell you if your brights are on, and these two are just basically map reading lights. Down below you've got your four-wheel drive, or actually six-wheel drive engage lever. It's air activated, so when you flip it, it will lock the front axle up. And in my case, we're going to switch the hubs to four-wheel drive, and then we have six-wheel drive capabilities. Then coming on over, I've got, I missed something over here. This is the stock windshield wiper knob, and those were also air activated, and they're horrible. Mine were intermittent. They didn't work very well. I'm in the process of upgrading my wipers. I have yet to complete the electrical hookup, but I installed an electric wiper kit that I purchased, and I'm almost done with that, and then I'll be able to turn my wipers on and off from up here. Then moving across the dash, there are a lot of stock placards. They are pretty worn out, but they do tell you about some of the things and some of the warnings of the truck. And I think that they just look cool. It's an old piece of history. You can get new placards, but I really liked the old ones. I think that they look really good with the truck. And in fact, this is the fuel placard. It tells you that you can use diesel, gasoline, you can mix fuels, but you don't want to use aviation grade gasoline. Warning right there. Then coming across, there are some load limits and service data, and it tells you how much oil this thing takes. I have done a couple of oil changes, and it takes 22 quarts of motor oil to fill the crankcase. So you don't probably, before you pull into Jiffy Lube or somewhere like that, you want to warn them that you're coming. In this truck, I also installed an M16 Rifle Mount. 2 troops may sit up here, and then you can lock down your M16s. There's a buttstock lock at the bottom here mounted to the floor. It's just a cool accessory. A lot of times I'll just hang my hearing protection on there, but I like the way that this looks as well. I also have a cold weather kit. I'm trying to make this thing as cold weather capable as possible. So there's a lot of boots, and you know, there are so many different, you know, these are desert or tropical trucks, so getting them to be cold weather vehicles takes a little bit of work. You know, the heater and sealing up some of the holes in here definitely helps a lot. Okay, here we go. It's a 5-speed. If you can hear me, that's great. The shift pattern is a little different than normal. It's over and down for first, up and over for second, straight down for third, whoop, which is kind of hard to get in there, you go. And then it's up and over for fourth, and then straight up for fifth. So it takes a little bit of practice to get used to not just going through a standard gear shift pattern. But I think we're ready to go. that first little tidbit, we were running in 4 low. I had the transfer case in low gear. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up, and I wanna show you the lever here. You pull that up, now you've got a set of high gears. So really, repainted. One of the things I wanted to point out was this upgrade right here. The normal oil canisters that are here take a little bit of time to build up oil pressure in the engine, as opposed to these spin-on. This is a new modern adapter. There's an adapter plate, and then you can get these spin-on oil filters, which are very similar to your car. One of the nice parts about them is that instantly the engine oil system will pressurize with this upgrade, and it makes oil changes just so much easier. This engine, and I get a lot of questions about how many miles a gallon I get, and it's about 11. I do get about 11 miles a gallon. This is the LDT 465 multi-fuel Whistler turbo motor, and it makes it about 170 horsepower. Has an operational range of about 400 miles with the 50-gallon tank, and its top speed is stated at about 55, but with my bigger tires I can actually get it up to about 65. All right, there we have it, a quick walk around our 1968 Deuce and a half. If you have any questions about it, you can send me an email. It's ryan@missionsurvivor.com. I also want to mention that we do loan it out for parades, school functions. If you've got Veterans Day parades, we'll be happy to show up if you're within our proximity. Again, you can email me with any questions and scheduling. A lot of schools and Boy Scout troops like to use it, and they actually come to our shop as well to preview the truck, and we build survival bracelets and make dog tags for them as well. I think that'll do it. I hope that you learned a little bit about our truck, about these trucks in general, and if there's anything else that you'd like to see me add, just let me know. Take care, everyone. I hope to see you outside. I'm Ryan Narder at Mission Survivor, and I'll be back again soon.